LBJ said that I think the difference between liberals and cannibals is cannibals don't eat their own family, and I think there's a constant sense among Democrats that we're really awful, I think, to each other. We don't talk about Biden's accomplishments enough. We don't tout them. You hear a lot of complaining on the Democratic side.
All right, so Chai Komanduri is saying that we are being too tough on Joe Biden. I think we need to be even tougher on him. We just ran a story about him promising $11.4 billion to developing countries to help them transition to renewable energy. And so far, 1 billion of that has been pledged with about 3 days left in the year. But it's especially when he's not taking care of workers at home as well. Look at this headline. Biden signs bill averting rail workers' strike despite lack of paid sick days. I mean, seriously, you have workers that have to promise to be on call if they take a sick day for, I don't know, they're in the hospital where they want to witness the birth of their child and they're not even the one sick. They don't have any sick days. And so they make deals in exchange with their bosses that they promise to be on call. That means they could get in from a shift, from doing a 12-hour driving of a freight train. They could get home, get into bed at 11 p.m. when they get back from the terminal, and then get called back in at 3 in the morning and have to go off again because they've promised to be on call. They have given up their entire lives for their jobs. And that's just an everyday worker in the United States of America. And Biden has decided, you know what, it's okay to have these workers have these predatory contracts, taking away the one thing they can do, which is withhold their labor to get their message across. Legally now, they cannot do that. Then we have the student loan debt crisis. Biden's 2022 solution to student loan debt could fall apart in 2023. Now, we know that the education secretary has the legal power to cancel student loan debt. That's very clear. There was a memo about this. The fact that it's being challenged in court in the administration is not making this a top priority. And when you have strategists like Chai saying, we've got to be easier on Biden, why is your priority not fighting for the working people that are trying to go on strike for a better contract, or the students who were tricked into taking student loan debt out by bankers who no doubt wanted to make money off of them? Why is that not your priority? Why instead are you saying we've got to be nicer to Joe? Doesn't make sense to me. Then we have the consequence of this being Republicans narrowly winning the House, which is ending full Democratic control of Congress. It's almost like Joe Biden failing to make good on his promises is what got us in this position. So yeah, we do need to be harder on Joe Biden. And here is just a laundry list of his incomplete campaign promises. So provide universal pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds. Raise the national minimum wage to $15 an hour. Codify Roe versus Wade. Create a public health insurance option. Get the COVID-19 pandemic under control. Then we have some more incomplete and failed promises. He promised to work with Congress to set up a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, ban assault weapons, repeal certain tax cuts that Trump approved, implement police oversight commissions, provide families with up to 12 weeks of paid family and medical leave. So he ran a huge campaign with very ambitious progressive promises, and he's running his administration like he's a neoliberal. Rayyvana?
Yeah, so many of these Democratic strategists just have what seems to be a child's understanding of politics. The real issue right now is that we're not being nice enough to Joe Biden. And he's saying this on MSNBC, which hasn't exactly been very hostile to the Democratic Party or to the Biden administration throughout his tenure thus far. They haven't run very many stories highlighting the, broken promises of the Biden administration. So I mean, really what he's trying to do is he's trying to appeal to the media, not necessarily to the individual, and saying that the media needs to treat Biden more kindly. When in reality, when the media is the institution that is providing a lot of people with their information, their news of the day about what's going on, they need to be the ones that are holding Biden accountable. They need to be the ones that are going harder on him and showing these broken promises and showing all that he campaigned on that he hasn't done yet, and highlighting the ways in which he can do them, particularly those things like student loan forgiveness that can be done unilaterally. Doesn't have to go through Congress, but they continue to run this tepid defense of him and saying like, maybe he needs to go through Congress to do it, so it would be a stronger case for it. I mean, it's sad, and to see that and I said before, the Democratic Party is a party that loves to lose. If your strategist's like key idea for how to win the White House again in 2024 is to be nicer to the president, I mean, just kiss every election goodbye from now on.
Yeah, it's like when you used to have to solve a math problem and the teacher would say, show your work. Whenever you have a Democratic administration, they're like, we're working on this. We're trying so hard. There's just, gridlock in Congress and all of these, the parliamentarians, a real thorn in our side. It's like all of these excuses. Show your work that you're actually trying to get something done. Show your work that you're trying to circumvent the parliamentarian and get something passed, because it seems like a ridiculous procedural roadblock to say that the parliamentarian is the reason our democratically elected representatives can't pass extraordinarily popular legislation. I mean, it's so clear that the government is being run by and for elites, because when you see people defend Joe Biden, the reasons they give for why he's doing a good job as president have absolutely nothing to do with everyday life for working class people. They say he's doing a great job running the economy, and then they cite gross domestic product. They don't cite that everyone is paying their rent on time every month. Everyone is paying their bills. Everyone has enough money to pay for what they need and a little bit extra for leisure time, because they don't. Because working class people are struggling all across the country just to put food on the table. And what Joe Biden ran on were policies that would address problems that working class people have living in the oppressive economy of the United States. And the fact that he's doing nothing about it is precisely why we are losing. And these consultants don't care. And the people posting on Twitter defending Biden's presidency with all of these empty metrics that make it seem like he's doing a good job, they don't care either. And it's about time that we actually have a political movement that represents working class people. And really, my only hope for that right now is in the labor movement, to be entirely honest. And the fact that Biden is stomping on that as well and not making good on his campaign promise to be a labor president is a huge problem as well. Rayyvana, any last thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that Joe Biden said he was going to represent the working class and the middle class. And where is he on those issues? He campaigned to those people, made promises, broke those promises. You're not going to be able to run on that again, Joe, unless you step up to the plate and protect the workers.